Sport is all about pressure. It is how you deal pressure in big match situations that wins or loses you a game. India has not won a single ICC tournament in the last 10 years. Is India a bad team? Absolutely not. Think about the 2023 World Cup. India was brilliant right through the tournament. 10 matches on the trot doesn't come easy. Even Australia was vanquished in the group stage. Every opponent who came India's way was literally tormented. But come the final on the 19th of November in Ahmedabad, the Indian team struggled. Travis Head with 100 and Australia yet again won the World Cup. This was because India was not able to deal with pressure. The IPL is very similar. People watching the game from across the world makes it even harder. Billions of fans cheering for their heroes automatically puts pressure on the teams and the support staff. If you are able to deal with this pressure, you emerge victorious. In the match against the Sunrisers Hyderabad, it was Mitchell Starc who dealt with the pressure. Taking out Travis Head, Mitchell Starc 3 wickets in his 4-over spell set it up for the Kolkata Knight Riders. But behind this, there is a certain Gautam Gambhir. Gautam took pressure when he came into the Kolkata setup in 2012. He absorbed the pressure, soaked it all in as he had to replace Sourav Ganguly. He talked about how he dealt with pressure and how he found himself under pressure as part of KKR in 2014. And that's what we will play out for you today. Gautam Gambhir and his ability to deal with pressure is what has benefited the Kolkata outfit in 2024. Can he do it for one more match? Can he protect his boys and cocoon themselves for one more game, which is the big IPL final? If he can do that, Kolkata Knight Riders could well be winning their third IPL trophy. Take a listen. Packed crowd, billion people watching, 2 down, Tendulkar Sehwag out, under pressure. What was your mindset like? I mean, I've also watched your career very closely. You're younger to me. But just explain to my viewers a little bit more the mindset when you played that innings in a huge final.
Look, didn't bother me one bit, to be honest. And I'm not going to probably sound arrogant here, but it didn't bother me one bit that what was happening at the other end. Because all I was thinking about winning the contest and that particular contest. And if I had to be in that mindset, I had to win each and every contest. So it really didn't matter to me what was happening, where the game was going, because my only purpose was when I was facing the bowler, I had to win that particular contest and look to score runs each and every delivery, as simple as it can get. Because when in these situations, I think you got to take the occasion out of the contest, because if the occasion gets probably better of you, obviously you'll forget thinking about the contest, you'll start thinking about the occasion. And for me, I think to break it down to probably the most important thing was probably facing that one particular delivery at each point of time and trying to win that particular delivery and try to score maximum runs of that particular delivery. Yes, people will talk about it. People have asked me this question, that what exactly was I thinking when we lost Sachin and Sehwag. And I honestly want to tell you this, that I was not thinking anything. And in fact, I did not think anything even when Virat got out, because my job was to probably, when I was facing the next ball, when I was on strike, I had to win that particular ball and try and score the maximum of that ball. Until the time I was there, I had that belief that we're going to win the World Cup.
Gautam, do you regret the fact that you didn't score 3 more runs? Do you at all think about it?
Absolutely not, because I think India is a nation which is obsessed with stats, and I have never been obsessed with stats. Because if one night before someone would have told me that I'm going to score 97 and India will go on to win the World Cup after I don't know how many years, I think I would have taken it. And I still believe, I think for me, the real World Cup was 2011, because I was grown up watching, thinking, dreaming of winning the 50-over World Cup, because there was no T20 cricket when I was growing up. When I picked up the bat, it was only 50-over World Cup. And my only dream was to probably play the World Cup. And in fact, that was the only 50-over World Cup I played. So imagine how lucky would I be that part of one World Cup team and we ended up winning that World Cup. So I can't complain about anything, because 97 is always better than 96 and probably much, much better than a 0.
Fantastic. And I don't want any controversy here, and I want to preface that. But do you feel we've not given that innings the due that it deserves? I mean, we have talked about it, and every time when I see, for example, your birthday, and people refer to that 97, and there's a sort of deluge on social media, oh, we've not celebrated it enough. Have you ever thought about it like that at all?
No, absolutely not. And I'll answer this question probably in two phases. The first one was that I haven't ever thought about it, because the thing is, I know that when I played that inning, or when I was actually batting in the middle, my thinking was not about getting celebrated probably in future. My thinking was that if I can make 100 people, 100 crore people happy, if I can make my country proud, that is all. I've picked up my bat. Every time I've picked up my bat and I've gone on to the field to represent my country, it was never about taking credit or talking about that what people will talk about my innings and what people will talk about my contribution and stuff. It was all about making people happy and my nation proud, and that has always remained till now. And second thing, when you talk about not giving credit, forget about me. I think we haven't given enough credit to Yuvraj Singh as well. We haven't given enough. Tell me how many people talk about Zahir Khan's first spell in the World Cup final, which had set the tone for us. 5 overs, 4 maidens, 1 for 4 or 1 for 1. Tell me how many people remember that. So it is not about players. It is the media. It is the social media. It is the narrative that has been created. It is that individual obsessed nature, that you're obsessed with individuals so much that you forget about team and what the team members have done. No individual can ever go on to win the World Cup. If that was the case, India would have won every World Cup till now, because we worshipped our heroes, or we worshipped our own players individually so much. We start talking about them, we start treating them beyond a game of cricket. So for me, I think let's not even talk about my 97. I think there are far more bigger contributions throughout that competition. Yuvraj Singh in 2007. Tell me how many people talk about Yuvraj Singh. Yuvraj Singh's contribution in 2011. Tell me Zahir Khan, the way he's performed throughout the competition. Suresh Raina's inning against Australia. Munaf Patel's spell against Australia. There were so many contributors. Yes, I did contribute, and I did a huge innings in the World Cup final. Yes, I had my contribution, but look at Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin Tendulkar is the highest run getter. 3 or 4 hundreds in that 2011 World Cup. How many people talk about Sachin Tendulkar? Yes, we keep talking about 1/6, which MS played, but that was never the case. It is the media that has created that. And when you keep talking to players, when you keep asking players that have they been given so much of credit, they will always say no, because media, social media, the amount of money that is spent on so many other platforms, that will always happen. Yes, I can also spend that, and I have all the right to spend that, but I don't do that because I want to live in a real world. I have always picked up a bat to make my nation proud, and if I've done that even once in my career, that's enough for me. I think that's what I've I've achieved everything possible in my career.
How did you prepare for that, Gautam? I mean, a World Cup final on home soil. We've not won a World Cup for 28 years. Perhaps our best opportunity. 2011 was such a sad story. We got knocked out. 2011 was massive. How did Gautam Gambhir prepare for a final like this? What are the lessons?
See, this question was asked to me after 2007 T20 World Cup as well. That was my first kind of any World Cup. Though obviously I don't rate T20 World Cup as big as probably 2011. I've given you that answer. Why? Because I was grown up watching 50 overs. See, I have never ever prepared for any game differently. I have never put any amount of any pressure on myself thinking about that this is a make or break game. The only time I literally have put pressure on myself was against New Zealand in 2007 T20 World Cup, because my first kind of any World Cup, I missed every World Cup possible. I missed the under 14 World Cup and I was the highest run getter. I missed the under 19 World Cup and I was the highest run getter in India. I still believe that I should have been part of the 2007 50 over World Cup, which absolutely I deserved. I missed out on that as well. So my first kind of World Cup in 2007 T20, I got a duck. First game got washed out. My first debut game against Pakistan, got a duck. Second game against New Zealand, probably that was the only time in my career I thought that it's make or break. And I actually promised myself that I remember we were staying in Sand & Sun in Johannesburg, and when I was leaving my room before for the game, I promised myself that whatever happens today, probably this could be the last game I could play, and my World Cup dream could be over, because I know that probably if I wouldn't have scored runs, there were other players who were waiting in the wings. They might get an opportunity, but I promised that whatever I'm going to do to them, I'm going to do it on my own terms. And I remember getting a 50 of 19 or 20 balls, and then from there on, I think things changed. So that's the only time I thought it was make or break. Otherwise, I have never ever thought that, because as I mentioned, occasions have never mattered to me. Whenever I've picked up a bat, whether it's for my club, whether it's for my state, whether it's for my franchise, whether it's for my nation. I've always been committed and obviously wanted to score runs and probably win a game of cricket for my team, so that when I come back in the dressing room, it has to be a happier dressing room. And more importantly, when I come back home or when I go back in my room, I'm a very content man.
So when what you are saying, so when you played the final against Pakistan in 2007 and you scored that 75, something that I also want to talk about a little bit. I mean, we build these matches. Mohali semi-final Pakistan, final in South Africa against Pakistan. So is it that these innings don't give you any extra satisfaction? Is there no extra pressure? Because these matches are sort of remembered for ages. I mean, I'm talking to you about 2011 sitting in 2023. 12 years, it's still a fresh memory. Gautam Gambhir, 97, that Mohali victory, 2007, 75, playing against Pakistan. So you mean to say a final, India has not won inaugural T20 or even 2011 semi-final. These occasions did not put extra pressure on you?
Absolutely not. And I've actually slept better because I thought that I've done everything possible one day before the game. I've read the entire book, so I'm ready for it. And whatever happens tomorrow will happen tomorrow, because I can't control what I can't control. All I can control is watch the ball with absolute clear head and try and win that particular contest. So when you go to those, see, for me, I think the most important thing is, and I'll tell you, where I feel that I've probably been able to score runs, if I have to probably cut it down to that one thing, is the word called courage. Because what happens is that when it comes to those crunch games, when it comes to those knockout games, when it comes to those so-called big games, when you know that you cannot make a mistake, you make a mistake, you might never get that opportunity again. Do you still have the courage to be positive? Do you still have the courage to tell yourself that, yes, I'm going to back to hit the ball? If you have that courage that you're backing yourself to hit each and every ball to score runs, I think you'll be fine. But the moment you start thinking this way, that if I make a mistake, what's going to happen? If I get out, what's going to happen? You anyways lost that contest. So every time, whether it was probably facing Lasith Malinga or for that matter, Sohail Tanveer or whoever I was facing in the finals, every time, whether it was the first ball or before I got out, my intention was be courageous, look to score runs. And I've always believed when it comes to big games, big tournaments, only the courageous teams will end up winning the games. And people with courage will end up scoring runs. And probably that is one thing, if I have to define that, what probably stood out for me was that I always had that courage to probably tell myself that whatever happens, I'm looking to score runs.
I've seen this courage that you talk about even in your IPL stint as captain, whether it's for KKR, to be able to win an IPL trophy for KKR when Sourav Ganguly was replaced, to come at the Eden Gardens and take the mantle. The courage that you're talking about, I've seen that. I mean, India did not win anything after 2013. We've come close multiple times, 17, 19, 22. What is it about Gautam Gambhir? I mean, to be able to score in these crunch matches, is it this courage? The fact that, you have that, what you call heart, to be able to go out there, big matches, so what, I'll take people bull by the horn. Does that define these innings? And is that the one thing that stands out?
Yes, if I have to, because I haven't got anything with ease. It's just the experiences which you have throughout your profession probably makes you the kind of character you are. I know a lot of other people might not have got it easy as well, but I haven't got it the easy way as well. I've missed out on a lot of competitions where I thought that I should have been part of it. But then I thought that the only way probably I kept going, because I thought the 2007 50 over World Cup was probably the lowest moment of my career. And I thought that my dream of playing the World Cup would be over, and has already been over. But then the only thing I promised myself is that from then on, whatever I do, and in fact, for that matter, very early on in my life, I think that's how I am. Sometimes you can talk about that. I always had that courage to probably take on and probably say the right things and look into people's eye and talk about it. And that is something which I'm really proud of myself. Probably a lot of things people might not be proud of what I've done and what I've said, and a lot of things I might have made mistakes as well. Everyone makes mistakes, but one thing I can be really proud of myself is that I always had the courage, whether it was in my profession, on the field or off the field, to probably say the right things and do the right things. And that has helped me till now. Hopefully it's going to carry on in future as well.